All right, welcome, Panthers fans. Welcome back to another episode of Catching Up with Coach P. I'm your host, Tom Pryor. Coach P, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Tom?
Doing good, doing good. All right, we got a lot to talk about today, Panthers fans. A lot to talk about. We had two crucial games that we had just the past week, and we got another game coming up this Monday at home against Anderson. And then following weekend, it's our invitational. So we invite everybody on behalf of Southside, come out, support this 6th grade Panthers team. They love to put on the show, and they are fun to watch. But let's get back to what our topic is today. Coach P, I'd like to start out with that game against Selma. Let's talk about it.
All right.
Y'all were very close with this team. This team did come in very game, but y'all shut down that perimeter. What was the key to shutting down their red-hot shooting for the perimeter coming into this game?
Just playing good defense, Todd. Getting out, closing out on their players, shutting down their players, and limiting them just with very limited shots from the outside. I I preach all week long in practice about how we have to get out and how we have to make them go out, get off that 3 point line, and how we have to close out. And so that was the really key to us, in that game. Defense wise, we play one heck of a game. Defensively, we was on it. Defensively, we was focused, and I always preach all week that is your offense. So they play a game, and we were just happy for that game.
Coming off the team really jailed. They really played wire to wire. Coming out that first half, getting a big lead. Now, obviously, y'all did have a minor setback in the third quarter, but that fourth quarter, they came together as one and really put on the show for these fans. How can you say your leadership and your wisdom contribute to them playing as a cohesive unit for that guy?
Well, it go back to practice. If you have good practice every day, and you come in here and you bust your behind on this court, and you give your all, it would just overflow to the game. You know what I'm saying? We always preach that how you play is how you practice. So if you come in here and you have behind through the practice, then you're gonna have behind through a game. And so we preach that when you're on this court, you give 110%. You leave your heart on this court, you know, and then you just pick it back up after the weekend. But we just get out. We want to get out there on them, and we want to jump out on Selma. And I think it was like 32-13 at halftime. And so that defense really produced our offense. Because we were stagnant on offense at times. But when you have a big lead and this tends to go with our players, they seem that when we get a big lead, that it's easy to go and take your foot off the gas. Where I preach that you always keep your foot on the gas. And it don't matter what the score, if you're about 80 points, oh well, that's how it goes. But when you take your foot off the gas, you give that team confidence, and you building up the momentum that they can hang with us or they can run with us, and they can try to get back to the game.
That's very understandable. Very understandable. All right, let's fast forward to the very next night. Okay, it was a back-to-back. Y'all played a very, very well coached Yorktown Tigers team. Now, obviously, y'all didn't get the outcome that y'all wanted, but do you think that a lot of stuff, like a lot of miscues happened because of a back-to-back? You think your players were kind of tired, their legs were kind of heavy coming into that game, especially the second half?
Well, if you look at the time that whole week, if you look at it, we had a game Monday night against Marion, and we lost that game because we didn't show up mentally or physically in that game. And then you look at the next night, we came home with Selma and we blew them out of the gym, by 20 some points. And then you have a next day off, and then you have a Thursday night game against Yorktown. So you playing 3 games in 1 week, And I don't make no excuses up. There's no way in the world I would make an excuse up and say, well, our players was tired or we had no legs. You play the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. And so we just got outplayed. We got out hustled. We got out rebound. You know, that game was close with Yorktown. I think they was up by 1 point at halftime. And everybody knows the third quarter is our nemesis. Some reason why I don't know that we just can't play in the third quarter. And so we just got outplayed. The second half, Yorktown, I give it to them. They just outplayed us. Now we play that if we play that same team 9 out of 10, we gonna win. You know what I'm saying? They probably win one game, we gonna win the rest of the other nine. So I give it to them. They just called us on a very good night, you know, and we just the second half we folded. And it's the same way that we played against Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon, we played. It was also a back-to-back game. We had an emotional game against Richmond the night before, and we beat Richmond by 9. And then thinking that okay, we will have a great game the next night, and we just had a emotional letdown game. You know, we call
Yeah.
those trap games. And so I really thought Selma would have been the trap game, and we would have been up for Yorktown. I did not think that Yorktown was going to be the trap game, but it happens. You know, now either we're going to grow from this, or are we going to continue down spiral?
Yes, coach.
So
So coming off the unfortunate loss to Yorktown, y'all basically had a week off just for practice. No game this week, practice. How confident are you feeling that y'all still have one more practice left before facing a very, I'll say tough, I'll give them credit, tough team in Anderson coming up this Monday?
Anderson is always tough. Anderson always plays tough. Um, I'm looking forward to the Anderson game. I think that we will show up that game. I think that this is our last regular season game. You know, this is their last regular season as a sixth grade basketball team. And so playing at home, playing your last regular season game, you want to play with pride. You want to come out and play the game the best way that you know how to play the game. And so I'm very confident that we will come out and play this game. I'm very confident that we will come out and play good defense um, because we hang our hats on our defense. Also, we'll come out and you know and go get at them. You know, Anderson is a tough, like I told you before. Anderson is a tough cookie, and we're looking forward to it. And we're looking forward to the challenge because that's what it's going to be. This game is going to go either one way. Either going to be a close game, or and we show up and play the game the right way, or it's going to be a game that we just going to get our hind parts handed to us and blown out on our home court.
So basically what you're saying is that y'all team got to come to play.
Yes, we got to come and play. It don't matter what. It don't matter what the record is. It don't matter who we playing against. You got to play the game. And I like how they use the analogy that you have to play the game between the lines when you're talking about football or basketball. So you got to come and play the game on the court. You know, on paper, you can say, oh, well, that team is a great team. They're going to blow you out. They're going to do this. But it don't matter. You still got to put that ball in that basket. You still got to come out and play that game. You still got to come out and play 24 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, how we come out and play this game on Monday night. And the one thing I was trying to tell them that we don't look past nobody. We can't look towards February the 15th um, and look at, well, we got a rematch with Marion. No, we got to take care of Anderson first before we get to that Marion game.
Very understandable. All right, we got a couple more questions. Let's talk about this upcoming tournament. You have Newcastle, Richmond, and once again Marion in this tournament. Now, Coach, you have faced all three. of these teams this year. One team you have faced twice and y'all have split this season series. One win, they got their win. Richmond did at their place, and then y'all beat them here. What is the key core for this group for them to stay focused, keep their basketball mentality in check, knowing that they have three very game teams coming into this building for their invitation?
Tom, all thing I can tell you, man, is when it comes to playing Marion, that's our first game, and we play the second game after the Richmond and Newcastle game. We have Marion. If you look at it on paper, Marion is favorite to win the tournament on paper.
Yes, sir.
As you know, I don't believe in paper. You got to play on the hardwood. Now, when we went to Marion, we played the first quarter, second quarter as good as we could, and then we fell apart. We have to come out and play 24 minutes of Panther basketball. 24 minutes.
Yes, sir.
We cannot hold back. We cannot step back. We cannot say, well, we get them again. We wait and get them down the road. No, this is your season, and this is this is what we work for. This is what we bled for. This is what we sweated for. The opportunity to hold that championship trophy after the 1 o'clock championship game. So it's either I'm gonna come out and play my best. I'm gonna come out and do my best. I'm gonna come out and give 100%. I'm gonna come out and it's gonna be we before me, or I'm not gonna show up against Marion. We get beat and we play in the consolation game and watch another team celebrate on our home floor. I think the kids know what's at stake. I think they know what's on the line. I think they know even know the magnitude of this game. You drew Marion. That was the luck of the draw. Would I rather play Richmond or Newcastle? Yeah. Would I rather see Marion in the championship game? Yes. But that's just how the draw go. I mean, if I was if I was a person that had a crystal ball
Yes,
and
sir.
I shot it up and put it in there, and I'm like, we got Marion, you got Newcastle, you got Richmond. Let me see, get kind of fuzzy. Let me shine it up a little bit more. Muncie Southside and Newcastle. It's all good. We know. Like you said, we played these teams before. We know what Marion got. We know what Richmond got. We know what Newcastle have. But with us, we're let me say this, Ty. We are a team that is two sided.
Yes, sir.
And what I mean by two sided is on one side of the coin, when when Kiwi and KO are playing at the elite level, and like I told them at the beginning of the season, that the team go as far as they go.
Yes, sir.
So when they're clicking, and then you have JJ, you have Tony coming in, and they're adding what they can add, the team is great. When Kiwi and KO is struggling, we struggle. And so I let them know that how important it is that you got to come out and you have to play that team ball. That means if I'm not scoring and my ball is not falling,
It's next man up.
it's next man up. Or how can I how can I be an impact on the game if I'm not scoring? These are things that we have to figure out along the way. Yes, these kids are young, but I'm giving them the opportunity to figure out how can you be an impact in this game.
So you're letting them basically find their role
Yes,
on their team.
yes,
Like you have scores, but then you also have role players.
yes. And like I said, Kiwi and KO is our go-to guys. They can get to the basket anytime they want. JJ has improved so much this season, where at the beginning of the season he was struggling to find his footing. And I told him, if I don't say nothing to you, that's when you need to worry. And I was on his behind every day at practice, telling him, no, this is what you're doing wrong. No, you're not correct. Pulling him out of games, pulling him out of practice, and putting somebody in his place. Just to show him this is how we got to do it. Now that now that he had built that trust in me, that I could put him out there during a key situation, or I could put him out there in a certain situation, and I know that he gets the job done. Um, and he has proven on a night in, night out basis.
Yes, sir.
So he has turned into one of our leaders. Um, what can I say about Damari? Damari is one of our. I mean, he's not a scorer, but he's the one that's gonna go after the loose balls. He's the one that's gonna give up his body and fall on the ground and die for the 50-50 balls. Or the other night against Selma, he had over 20 rebounds. And so he's going to go out there and do the extra work and put in the time to say, okay, I need to get we need to get the ball back, or we need to get an extra possession. He's that type of player, and he's been tremendous to coach
Yes,
this
sir.
year. Another person that comes to mind that has grown a lot is LP. At the beginning of the season, we look at a 5'7" guy, and that we can say, well, he'd be good to play down low, or he'd be good to play maybe at a three, which he can play at three, four, or five. He has improved so much this year that coming back from break, where he just had a standout breakout practices, that he broke through the starting lineup. And so now but I'm constantly reminding him that, hey, just because you got there, the way you got there, you still got to work to keep it there. Um, so I mean, there's so many other teams I could talk about.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like Ramonte, he's another one that works hard in practice, and it shows on the floor. And the improvement that he made from day one to now. And so I'm looking forward to this team growing. Hopefully, I will have the opportunity to coach this team through their seventh and eighth grade year.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to the AAU season with this team, and so there's just so much stuff that we're trying to build in this program, that we're trying to make this one of the strongest uh, team that come out of Southside.
Yes, sir.
Um, we talked about today the possibility of raising another banner,
Yes, sir.
and how great it would be to win that championship on your home floor, and then raise a banner, and then have that hardware on your finger,
Yes, sir.
as to know that you are champions. So, I think they getting it, but we can't look past Anderson on Monday to get to Saturday,
Yes,
if you
sir.
know.
Yeah, I
And,
get it. I get it.
and so that's one thing that we're looking forward to, man. I mean, Tyler, I can go on and on and on, but I know we just talk about a certain amount of time show, but I can go on and on and talk about Panther basketball, and how much Panther basketball means to me, and how much it means to this school, the pride of Panther. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so I'm just happy, and that, yeah, we're sitting at what, 5-7 or 6-7, or how this record is. But deep down, we know that we are a 14-0 team.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's all good.
So coming into Saturday, let's talk about Saturday just one more time. Do you feel like this, like personally, do you feel like this gym can be like electrified and feel like it is like a sectional, like a middle school
And that's what we
sectional?
want. That's what we want. I mean, we want everybody to come out. We want to practice gym out on Saturday, November the 15th. I mean, sorry, February the 15th. We want to practice gym out, and we want to, uh, give Muncie something that they ain't have in a long time, and that's a middle school basketball game tournament. I mean, like I said, when you bring the caliber of Newcastle, you bring the caliber of Richmond, you bring the caliber of Marion in the game, and here, those are three good teams, and not excluding us, but those are three good teams for a tournament. That's a sessional tournament, man.
It is.
And these kids is going to play each other all the way through Muncie Central and Marion and Richmond and Newcastle. So, they're going to be playing each other for almost 6 to 7
Yes.
years. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to get that rivalry feeling
Yes,
going.
yes.
I get it. I
And
get it.
so my choice was to have an evening game, evening tournament. That way that we could have got Muncie Central because they play Anderson the afternoon, but we could have got Muncie Central here and the coaches here to watch that game.
Yes,
But
sir.
we still got next year to build on to that. And so my thing is, let's practice gym out. Give these kids something that we want to hear the crowd, and we want to, we want to get that tournament feeling and everything. So, like I said, I can go on and tell you, but our day starts 7 o'clock in the morning on February 15th with team breakfast.
Yes, sir.
And then we're gonna come and watch a little bit of the Newcastle and Richmond game. And before that, then we would probably do a little walkthrough, and then hopefully by 12:30 we be getting ready. Or no, yeah, by 12 o'clock, 12:30 we be getting ready for the championship game against whoever we play.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking ahead, but I'm excited. As you can tell, um, it's going to be a great day on the 15th. Um, it just unfortunately Northside can't play in it because we really wanted Northside to be a part of it.
Yes, sir.
But it's all good. It's all good.
And so, for what I'm understanding, this is actually the first ever fifth grade boys basketball invitational that Southside has put on in its history as being a middle
Well,
school.
no, this has been a few years back that Southside put on a tournament, but it usually is in January, and the sixth grade tournament has not happened since COVID. So by us doing it this year, and the ideal thing to do is to have a tournament at the end of the season. Mid season tournaments is good, but the end of the season tournament and the one that is built like a sessional tournament, or you know, you go through the whole season, then you get to look at okay, at the end of the season we got dollar dollar, we ready to rock and roll, and so it's a great thing, and we're looking forward to it. Man, I'm telling you, Todd, that February 15th can get here soon enough. We are ready to play. We are ready for Marion. Um, there's some wrinkles that we had put in and practice that we just going to be ready. We mentally ready, we physically going to be ready, so everything's going to be good.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for joining me here on this episode. And it's a pleasure always having you here talking on this episode of Catching Up with Coach P. Folks, thanks for tuning in for today's episode of Catching Up Coach P with Coach P. Thank you for, and once again, allowing us to have this interview with you and share your time with us. Panthers fans, don't forget Monday, Anderson, right here, Muncie Southside. Don't want to miss it. And our Southside Invitational Tournament. That's on that Saturday. That's that weekend. Make sure y'all clear your schedule because that's going to be a banger, and y'all don't want to miss it. This is your main man, Todd, here with Coach P on another episode. I am your host, And once again, thank you for making us Panther proud. And we see you on the next episode.